Chris Wood, Morgan Gibbs-White, Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, Nottingham Forest have an exciting team. Despite being in a relegation battle in previous seasons, the Tricky Trees find themselves in great form. They have surprised everyone, not just because they are winning games, but winning comfortably. Their counter-attacking style is a joy to watch, and they are scoring goal after goal. So how exactly has Nuno Espirito Santo been able to steady the ship for the Reds? While their recent form might have shocked people, we have to remember that historically speaking, Nottingham Forest are a massive club. They have won 2 European Cups, which is now called the Champions League, being just one of 6 English clubs to be crowned European champions. They have also won 1 UEFA Super Cup, 1 league title, and 2 FA Cups. Their most successful period was under the management of Brian Clough and Peter Taylor in the late 1970s and early 1980s, which included those 2 back-to-back European Cup triumphs in 1979 and 1980. In recent years though, the club did not experience that level of success. In 2005, they became the first European Cup winners ever to fall into their domestic 3rd division. They spent 3 seasons there before eventually returning to the championship. Between 2010 and 2011, Forest reached the championship playoffs twice, but were unable to secure promotion. The following years were filled with managerial changes and inconsistent performances, which caused Nottingham Forest to be stuck in mid-table, being closer to relegation than promotion. This was a club that was used to dominating with one manager on the sidelines in Brian Clough, but now no matter who they got, they couldn't get results. Colin Calderwood was sacked in the 2009 season on Boxing Day after a 4-2 defeat to Doncaster Rovers, a club that was at the bottom of the table at the time. In June of 2011, Bill Davies had his contract terminated and was replaced by Steve McLaren. Then McLaren resigned after a few months in charge when Forest found themselves in the relegation zone. This managerial carousel went on for years and years until the appointment of Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper was appointed as Nottingham Forest head coach in September of 2021, getting a team that was positioned at the bottom of the championship table. Under his leadership though, Forest experienced a remarkable turnaround, finishing 4th in the league and securing promotion to the Premier League after a 23-year absence by winning the championship playoff final against Huddersfield Town. Thanks to clinching promotion, Cooper was backed financially. Forest splashed the cash, breaking their transfer record 3 times for Taiwo, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Ibrahim Sangare. In the 2023 season, Nottingham Forest finished 16th, ensuring they would be playing in England's top flight for another season. It was a tense finish to the campaign, but there were some positives to take away. They had an excellent home record, getting wins against Liverpool and Arsenal. In the following season though, some new challenges arose. A series of poor results led to Cooper's dismissal in December of 2023, with the team positioned 17th in the league at the time. Cooper was replaced by Nuno Espirito Santo. Now Nuno, he was no stranger to the Premier League, having managed both Wolves and Tottenham Hotspurs. During his time at Wolves, he was famous for his highly effective counter-attacking style. Nuno quickly began to instill that exact style onto the team. Forest beat Newcastle 3-1, giving Nuno his first win in charge. Then followed that result with a 2-1 win over Manchester United, which was Forest's first Premier League win over the Red Devils in 29 years. Nuno was able to keep Forest up for another season after beating Burnley on the final day. His pragmatic style had worked. Forest had notoriously been leaky at the back, but under Nuno, they were disciplined and organized defensively. He deployed a compact defensive shape, a 4-2-3-1 that allowed the team to absorb pressure and limit the space for the opponents. Then after absorbing the pressure, they would hit quickly on the counter. Entering the new season though, there wasn't that much hope for Forest after having barely escaped relegation in the previous 2 campaigns. They had spent a ton of money on new players, but their 32-point tally from the 2024 season was the lowest points a team had ever gotten without being relegated. But Nuno's tactics have revolutionized Nottingham Forest into a resilient and dangerous side. As I stated earlier, from an attacking perspective, Nuno's style is all about quick transitions. Rather than dominating possession, Forest have embraced using a counter-attacking philosophy, using the pace and dynamic nature of their wingers in Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Elanga. Both of these players, you have to remember, at one point were touted as rising stars at Chelsea and Manchester United respectively. Elanga emerged from the United Academy as a player with raw pace and a willingness to run at defenders. Nuno is using that to perfection, using his speed to exploit the space behind the defenses when Forest want to break. Elanga is also a diligent worker off the ball, which helps Nuno's system in the sense that they want to be organized. He is still working on his finishing and decision making in the final third, but his speed and athleticism are essential to the way that Nuno wants to counterattack. Hudson-Odoi was a player who at one point was deemed untouchable by Chelsea, with the Blues even rejecting an offer from Bayern Munich at one point. Injuries and managerial changes stalled his development, but his career has been rejuvenated under Nuno. With Elanga being a threat on the right side, Callum Hudson-Odoi is offering the same level of threat on the left. He provides creativity, skill, and flair for Nuno's side, cutting in from the left onto his right to either score or create for others. His vision and dribbling ability make him a playmaker from the wing, with his crossing being essential for a player like Chris Wood to get on the end of. Nuno sometimes even lets him free roam into the middle of the park, which makes him incredibly unpredictable and even more difficult to defend against. He thrives in 1v1 situations and is great at creating space for himself to deliver either crosses or take a shot. The vision he has, the ability to pick out clever passes, it makes him a dual threat as both a creator and a scorer. Together, Elanga and Hudson-Odoi form a dynamic wing duo that embodies Nuno's counter-attacking vision. Elanga offers the directness and raw pace to really go at defenders, while Callum Hudson-Odoi offers the flair and creativity. This combination has made Nottingham Forest a dangerous side on the break, capable of punishing teams that push too far forward. Then, you have Morgan Gibbs-White, operating as the creative number 10, linking the midfield and the attack with his vision and passing. He is one of the most important players in Nuno's setup. His intelligence on the ball, ability to drive forward, and vision, it makes him indispensable in the system, especially when Forest are transitioning from having just absorbed pressure to counter-attacking. Gibbs-White's ability to receive the ball in between the lines, his vision, his ability to both run at defenders and be able to play these pinging long balls are essential for starting that fluid attack. His work rate and pressing ability are also essential in Nuno's counter-pressing system. It makes him a dual threat as both someone who's creative on the ball, but also a defensive asset. His partnership with Chris Wood and Elanga has been terrific as he frequently finds them in goal-scoring opportunities with his fantastic passing. Now imagine all these creative midfielders are making opportunities for an absolute unit up front in Chris Wood. Wood has become an absolute goal-scoring machine for Forest. He is the Barclays Premier League target man that we thought was slowly being removed from the modern game. In the 2024 season, he scored 14 goals in the Premier League in 31 appearances. A goal in every 2 games is not too shabby for a striker playing on a team that was fighting relegation. In the 2025 season though, he came out flying even more, getting 8 goals in his first 10 matches. Standing at 1.91 meters tall, Wood utilizes his height and physicality to absolutely dominate players in the air, making him a constant threat on set pieces and crosses. His ability to hold up the play is also essential because it allows his teammates to join the attack. Under Nuno, set pieces have become a strength for Forest as well, adding another dimension to Forest's ability to score goals. Nuno's emphasis on set pieces have also allowed Forest to take advantage of an opportunity that was previously wasted. On top of Ward-Prowse, Nuno also strengthened the squad by signing Elliot Anderson to add some creativity to the midfield, and Morato, the Brazilian center-back from Benfica, to help bolster the defensive line. The midfield is difficult to break down too, with Yates and Dominguez fighting for every single ball and playing super aggressive. It was incredibly visible in the game against Liverpool, where they dominated against the very informed midfield of Gravenberch and McAllister. The win against Liverpool was Forest's first win at Anfield since 1969. While the attack has looked good, and of course it's the one thing that makes the headlines, it's really been Forest's defense that has made them such a resilient side to play against. Murillo has been a standout center back. He's been pivotal in this setup, leading to a really solid back line. Despite being only 6 foot tall, he wins his aerial duels. His defensive awareness is top notch. He knows where to position himself to make the right interception. He reads the game brilliantly and is very comfortable on the ball. The exact quality you want to see from a modern day center back. On top of Murillo, Nikola Milinkovic has been rock solid as well. Standing at 6'5", the Serbian has been fantastic at the back, dominating aerial duels and providing much needed leadership ever since he arrived from Fiorentina. Add in Olaena and Alex Moreno as the fullbacks, and you get a backline that is both solid defensively and they can punish you on the counter. Nuno's tactical revolution at Nottingham Forest has transformed the team. They are now a squad that is defensively solid, can punish you on the counterattack, and are a joy to watch. It shows the tactical intelligence of the Portuguese, who was able to instill discipline and organization into the squad right away. They now have a squad mixed with players that can punish you physically, but can also get the better of you with technical skill. Forest have gone from a team that was fighting relegation to a squad that nobody wants to play against. If you enjoyed this video and love Premier League content, you have to watch this video right here.